for them, but you don't agree with that.
They don't. The funny thing is if you look at their study, 65% of the businesses we surveyed already had paid sick leave before it was put in place. And so they say, well, 70% of the businesses said it didn't affect their profitability. Most of those businesses already had a policy on the books. And the interesting thing is if you look in the footnotes and the appendixes that they sort of tried to bury in the study, you actually see that it was about 30% of low-wage employees reported layoffs or hours reductions at their employer following the paid sick leave mandate. So exactly what we think would happen, that employers at the margin are going to have to adjust and make these difficult decisions. That's what you saw happen in San Francisco. They try and bury it with sort of, pleasant-sounding language, but the numbers don't lie.
I think in the past, companies have felt it should be optional. Is that your stance?
That it should be optional? Well, yeah, I think you see that employers need to have flexibility. And I think what we see in Connecticut is that the vast majority, over 85%, offer some sort of paid benefit to their employees. The question is, those remainder, why don't they? And I think the answer is because they can't afford it. Because if they did, those jobs wouldn't be there. Those entry-level jobs, they would have to, so the employers would learn how to do more with less. They might automate jobs that used to be done by employees. As you make it more expensive to hire, employees at the margin in these industries like retail, manufacturing, accommodations, and food services, there are fewer jobs to go around.
I mean, and I'm sure you can look at many different examples, but you have 500,000 people in Connecticut who don't have paid sick leave. What do people do if they have no health insurance also and they can't afford to call out sick and go to the doctor?
Well, I think that number's a lot lower than the opposition say it is, but I guess the thing is, most employees, when they get started, when they get started in their job and their career, they're earning a raise, they're earning more money, they're doing better for themselves in the first 1 to 12 months of the job. And I think that's what people do. They start and they work their way up to a larger salary, to a more generous benefit package. But people don't have that opportunity if they don't have experience, and they can't get experience if they don't have the job to begin with. And I think that's what this bill would do, is it would take away some of those opportunities.
Thank you. I think that businesses